Okay. User Pranina. Be the SP that you are trying to manifest. Tips and techniques. This post might be a long one, but trust me, it's worth your time. This story is about my close friend who underwent a breakup with her SP about 4 months ago. Like most people on the sub, she was led to Neville's teachings. Initially, she was in a desperate state and desired a reconciliation. But as she understood more and more of Neville's teachings, she realized that everything that happened was because of her own assumptions and nothing else. So she acknowledged it and made peace with it. As she gained more knowledge, she finally realized her true potential and consciously decided she didn't want her ex anymore. This new understanding and shift in perspective changed her in a radical way. She changed her state of being from being depressed and suicidal to being the happiest she has ever been in her life. And out of nowhere, her ex texted her a couple of days ago after no contact for 4 whole months. And in her words, he was basically trying to crawl up her ass. LOL. Or arse. LOL. She texted me immediately and asked me, how was this possible? Because she wasn't in any way trying to manifest him back. She only used to mention him in passing in our conversations as her ex. So, how did it happen? I thought of this for some time and it hit me. It's almost similar to how I manifested my ex. And there he links back to his posts on where he just did a single feeling. So I told her that it's because she stopped assuming the state of a victim. She wasn't craving him anymore. Instead, she assumed the state of someone strong and desirable. Over the months, I've seen her unconscious mental diet. It was really positive and healthy. And about her ex, she'd often say with conviction and belief something along the lines of, I know my ex can never replace me because he can never find someone as smart as me. That's the state she naturally occupied. She didn't do it to manifest something. She just assumed a higher state naturally and affirmed something as true with confidence. She put herself on a pedestal, and that's why it manifested so easily. And when I told her this, she was screaming, oh my gosh, I'm the SP. I'm the SP now. We've switched roles. She was right. She unconsciously became the SP, meaning they switched roles. What do I mean by this? Am I saying not to pursue your SP? No, I'm simply saying it's time to change your approach. How? 1. What I've observed is that most people put the emphasis completely on the SP, something outside of them, when in fact it's never about them. It's never about the SP. It's always about us. So start building a bigger and better self-image. Change your conception of yourself and you will automatically change the world in which you live. Do not try to change people. They are only messengers telling you who you are. Revalue yourself and they will confirm the change. That's a quote by Neville Goddard. Change your conception of yourself and you will automatically change the world in which you live. Do not try to change people. They are only the messengers telling you who you are. Revalue yourself and they will confirm the change. Neville Goddard. That's amazing. Okay, so number 2, do not worship your SP. Worship yourself. Love yourself more than anyone. Accept that you are the best. Put yourself on the pedestal and not your SP. Your opinion of yourself, this is quoting Neville again. Your opinion of yourself is your most important viewpoint. You are infinitely greater than you think you are. Again, your opinion of yourself is your most important viewpoint. You are infinitely greater than you think you are. Neville Goddard. Number 3, stop assuming that your SP is hard to get. Instead, assume that you are way out of his or her league. Why not? You're fucking awesome. Another quote by Neville. Love is our birthright. Do not go seeking for that which you are. Again, love is our birthright. Do not go seeking for that which you are. This is why we need to read Neville himself. Back to user Pranina. When you see yourself above your SP, you stop craving and wanting, and you automatically assume a level of consciousness that's above all this. That's when you'll see the true magic. Your SP will be after you. You would have switched roles. Now you are the SP. Okay, I'm going to read one exchange from the comments. Edward Art Supply Hands replied, Neville always said we must become the very thing we want others to be. So if we want others to treat us nicely, then we must be the ones to treat ourselves nicely. And he quotes, do not worship your SP, worship yourself. Love yourself more than anyone. Accept that you're the best. Put yourself on the pedestal and not your SP. Edward says, this is the advice I always give people when they message me. Focusing on lifting oneself is the only change we need to make. And that should cause immense relief knowing you do not have to control every little thing on the outside. Great post. Another user replies, hi, how can I practice self-love and assume something about myself? Should I do sats and affirmations about myself? Today I really need practical tools, smiley face. Edward Art Supply Hands replies, start with giving yourself compliments. And that's why I'm reading this, because it's the practical application of how to love yourself or how to recreate that fantastic relationship with yourself and put yourself on the pedestal. Edward Art Supply Hands says, start with giving yourself compliments. 10 things every day. And I want you to feel these compliments solely for yourself, not to impress anyone or to show off, just for you. Tell yourself lovely things just for yourself. Expect nothing from the world and do these compliments to give yourself the feelings that come with them. Of course, you can build off of that. Example, I am confident. I am proud of myself for being confident and no longer feeling low. Then feel proud, feel confident just for you. Okay, next post. And it seems like user Pranina was gilded and awarded on every post because this one has 3. There's a gold, a silver, and a something else. I don't know what it is, but it's called How to Eliminate Fear and Doubts, a detailed post. He says, I had posted this last night and I deleted it by mistake. I'm sorry for that. I'm posting it again with some added details. It might be long. This post is for all those who are going through a period of fear, doubt, and uncertainty. I thought I'd make a post that might help them. Ever wondered, what is fear? Fear is just faith inverted. Fear is false evidence appearing real. Borrowed this from a comment in the previous post. Fear is faith in evil instead of good. What I mean by evil is faith in things outside of us, and good is faith in us, the God in us. So what he's saying, if it's not obvious, I don't know, because when I'm reading, I don't hear the same as when I'm just listening, but fear is faith in something outside myself, whereas faith is the good inside myself, in the God inside me. Back to reading Pranina. The reason we fear and our faith still wavers is because we haven't truly realized something very important. To understand this in a better way, let me give an example. Have you ever had a nightmare where the characters, things, situations in the dream scared the living daylights out of you? But then when you realized it was just a dream, all of a sudden everything that was scary loses all power and meaning? If anyone has ever experienced a lucid dream, you'd know that as soon as you're aware it's a dream, all of the dream and its elements are under your control. Why? Because every single person, character, every single thing in your dream is just you. The scary elements lost all meaning and power because as soon as you realized that it was your dream, that you are the operant power of the reality, you unconsciously realize nothing can hurt you because you have control over it. That is the secret. There's this quote my close friend used in one of our conversations. I'll share it here because I just loved it. The quote is, "I don't feel like the dream plane is as real as this plane. I feel this plane is as fake as the dream plane." That's all it is. What you call reality is really just as fake or real as your dreams. Everything that you see in your life, in your experience, is just your assumptions. It's all you. Your outer world and your dreams are really the same in essence. Just different dimensions with different rules. They are all very convincing illusions. But no matter what dimension it is, the only thing that remains constant is that you're the operant power in your experience. That's the first step. When you realize who you are and your true potential, that's when all fear-inducing elements lose power. Half the battle is already won. The next step is to know why you fear and doubt things. All fear, pain, suffering, and sadness only happens when our old story and our new story don't match. All fear, pain, suffering, and sadness only happens when our old story and our new story don't match. In other words, what we desire and what we perceive are different. It's different only because we don't persist. Persistence means one story, the new story, the only story. Persistence is easy when there's a change in perception. When you see your desire through the consciousness of your present limitations or present perception, you'll always feel it's not real. So, how to change perception? Here's an exercise I started doing recently to eliminate my fears. I call this perception exercise. This is where I use my imagination to my advantage. I ask myself, what is my desire? If it's wealth, for example, I'd ask myself, how do I perceive my desire in my present situation? How does someone who has mastered wealth perceive the same situation? In this case, I'd imagine someone I know who's rich. First, I see the situation from my perspective. I observe how I feel. Then I just put myself in the other person's shoes. See the situation from their eyes, from their beliefs and thoughts, and contrast it with mine. Each time I do this, I feel so different. In one, I feel weak. In another, I feel strong and empowered. I remember the feeling of how the master saw it, and I stick to it. I would remember their mindset and their perception, and I adopt it. This has helped me tremendously in the last 2 weeks. I feel I'm completely different. Again, this is nothing original. I got this from a Neville quote. I got this idea from a Neville quote, and here's the quote. "The ideal you seek and hope to attain will not manifest itself. It will not be realized by you until you have imagined that you're already that ideal. The ideal you seek and hope to attain will not manifest itself, and it will not be realized by you until you've imagined that you are already that ideal. And that's Neville Goddard. Each time you get used to this new mindset, you occupy a new state. That's when things in your experience will change and conform to your new assumptions. Have faith. Everything is possible. I hope this was helpful. But remember this. We don't manifest what we want, but rather what we are. We don't manifest what we want, but rather we manifest what we are. I'm just going to add in something that I learned from a YouTube video. There's a person who I was listening to their video, and he said, all fear is imagination undirected. I don't know if that adds anything to this, but I'm just throwing that out there. It's helped me. Okay, now this is the last post of user Pranina. It's entitled Farewell and Good Night. At the time of this reading, it happened 29 days ago. Hey guys, I'll keep this short. The end of the year often calls for reflection, and after some thought and consideration, I've decided to exit the sub. I'm going to leave all my posts and comments, as I don't feel like deleting them would be beneficial. After this post is published, I'll be logging off, so please don't be offended if I don't reply to your DMs or comments. I'm going to focus on myself. I hope you all will do the same. You already have all the information you need to change your life. Remember, your world is just a reflection of your beliefs. So always believe the best. I wish you all a wonderful year ahead. Love, P.